Hey guys, Taro here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Langreskaya, playing a few days spawning in the south. We have Jove as the Aussie player. And his loadout is Mobile Defense, Ostrupen, and Jaeger Infantry. Yes, Jove is back. He has been provisionally entered into GCS2, I believe with the seed of 19th. Not 100% sure if he can travel to the live event. I imagine he's working on that. To sort out if that can happen, but already top 10 with 4 factions I think in auto match, so perhaps 19th is not a good enough seed for him. Did perform very well at ESL previously and was rank 1 many times on auto match, so exciting to see him back. Myself against him in the north we have Jesulin as the US forces, who has airborne, heavy cavalry, and a rifle company. Seems to be in very good fighting form, does Jesulin, coming into the GCS period. And gets into this building, gonna put some pressure on these squads as they try to cap. Very unusual capping order I think here for Jove. Kind of sending a squad out this way. I don't think it's a very good idea. Looks like he's going to get control of his fuel a little bit later by going for this kind of capping order. And Jesulin making good use of this building here. He's actually gone for like a cap order this way. Probably secures the fuel fastest of all. Because sometimes when I usually play this map, I connect this one, then this one, then this one, but munitions point takes longer to capture than the standard territory points, so this is going to give Jesulin some very speedy fuel, whereas Jove taking quite a long time to secure his fuel with his capping order. So Jesulin's going to have a bit of a fuel lead coming into this match in the early stages. Jove trying to come around the side here with this squad of grenadiers, but gets caught by a squad of riflemen, and that's going to have to retreat. So his engagement's not going so well for Jove here. Now Jesulin making a run onto the cuff. There is a grenadier squad nearby. It's going to put a stop to this. 2v1 over here as well. Jesulin's going to have to retreat from that engagement. Eventually. Oh, we should just run in here, stop this cutoff. Can't afford to lose this cutoff for free like this. Squad finally retreats. Fresh squad coming into this building here. Jesulin gets the cutoff. The squad of re-echelons has been capping up the rest of the map as well. Comes the flamethrower, gonna get rid of this squad. So Jesulin's harassment comes to an end there, but notice how much damage he did with just 3 rifleman squads versus Jove's 4 squads, and Jove didn't get the machine gun. Had a bit of trouble forcing away those riflemen. And Jesulin's gone 3 squads into captain, which is a very difficult build. The captain comes 10 fuel later than the lieutenant. So, that lasts a minute or so. Or half a minute of fuel technically, but perhaps a minute in game. You can lose a lot of territory control with the 1 fewer squad, but that doesn't seem to be the case for Jesulin. He's done very well with his low amount of squads, actually winning the early game with 1 squad fewer. We saw this from Lovenest actually against Hans's Ostrupen during GCS 1, pretty sure it was, where he went for a 3 rifle to captain Fast AT to shut down the light vehicles from the Ostrupen commander. So it seems to be the hallmark of a very strong player if you can win these engagements and have strong map control early despite being 1 squad down. And a good engagement there for Jesulin, forcing away that squad. Similar case here for Jove, running straight down the middle with his grenadiers. All these grenadiers quite low. Hasn't managed to squeeze in a medic bunker yet. He did connect his munitions quite late. Remember, he did capture this point over this one in the early game. And Jesulin coming down this flank forced away the Flamer Pioneer squad that was here. Now going to secure the fuel. So despite losing his cutoff, doesn't even matter that much, as fuel's going to be flowing in nonetheless. And Stuart coming in at basically the exact same timing as Jove. That's what I was talking about. Those differences in capping orders making a big difference here. Usually you would expect Stuart to come in about a minute and a half later than the 222, but that's not going to be the case here. It's going to come in at basically the exact same timing. Jesulin trying to force these squads off his cutoff in this slightly late retreat here. Re-echelon somehow worked their way into the retreat path, and down goes that squad of grenadiers. So now the squad's actually in Jesulin's favour thanks to that free captain. Here comes 222, gonna come in and do a bit of damage, but yeah, as I said, hitting the field at almost the exact same timing as the Stuart. Shows how strong Jesulin's fuel control's been early. And perhaps he's got the superior capping order to Jove. Of course, the 222 does struggle against the Stuart, which has much stronger armor and more health. Gets the Faust in there to slow Stuart's progress, and upon seeing that, gets aggressive with the 222. Knowing that he doesn't have to worry about the Stuart coming to chase him down. Gets a bit too close here with the 222. That could have been a AT grenade, but we didn't actually see it from Jesulin there. Trying to kite, doesn't want to take the AT grenade. He's been pretty good with his 222 micro so far. Regathering his fuel now, but Jesulin's fuel control has been so superior to this point. He's actually airdropping in the 50 cal as well. It's going to make life hard for the 222. It's got good penetration against the 222's armor. Vehicles harassing squads on either side. This is where those sandbags that Jove built earlier will come in handy. Allow him to fight this engagement for quite a lot longer than he would be able to otherwise. Now the sandbags are destroyed. He needs to spread these out. Otherwise that could happen. you lose half the health of your squad in one shot like that. But doesn't end up mattering too much. Machine gun for Jove now, finally. Sent a squad of flamethrowers up this way and has to retreat them instantly. Jove not having much luck with his capping orders and his squad allocation so far. Doesn't seem to be working out for him too well on this map. I don't think this map's in the GCS pool though, so I suppose he's got that to fall back on. Pack coming in now for Jove as well. But he is well on the back foot here. Jesulin getting aggressive with his 50 cal as well. And Captain coming down the flank forces the MG42 away, and Jove starting to lose control, suffering the triple cap now. It's looking quite grim for him. If he's going to turn this one around, I think he needs to take out the Stuart. He needs to shut that down really quickly, and then I think he'll be in a decent position. Makes his way to the sandbags, gets suppressed before he gets there though, so it's unfortunate. Packer's nearby. Oh, but the first shot connects with these munitions boxes, I guess they are. And now sandbags are gone. Grenadiers should retreat. 50 cal gets forced away there. Pack advanced a little bit, managed to get a hit on the Stuart, so he's actually doing a pretty good job repelling this attack. Just inching his way out piece by piece, and it's working out well for him. Has gone for mobile defense, but still not at 5 CPs. 10 minutes into the game, quite unusual. I would expect to get 5 CPs now. But gee, just about there. Gonna have enough fuel for a Puma. And he's going for some Panzer Grenadiers as well. Very strapped for munitions at the moment, so I think the Panzer Grenadiers make sense. Because he doesn't have enough munitions to upgrade LMGs if we went for another squad of Grenadiers. And, you know, he's still bringing in the Panzer Grenadiers at a timing where Jesulin doesn't have that many bars on his riflemen. So Panzer Grenadiers is not going to get overpowered by these riflemen. Likewise, riflemen not Vet 2 yet. So this is like the good timing to get the Panzer Grenadiers. Going for the attack round there, doesn't quite connect. You just have to retreat. Bars coming in hot. These P-Greens heading out. Going to the center, they're going to run into that 50 cal though. I thought he might have brought them over to the left here. Stuart looks like it's ready to make a raid down this left hand flank. Bazooka's coming up as well. 222's got to be careful. It's got good line of sight though, remember, the 222. Didn't get the neutralize on the fuel, so that's a good thing for Jove. It's making a push through the middle, but having trouble to outmaneuver the 50 cal. Stuart coming around the side now. 50 cal almost goes down, but suppression kicks in, and so do the paratroopers. Forcing away all those squads. Wonder what upgrade Jesulin will get. Oh, he's going for the LMGs. I feel like, you know, even on long range maps, sometimes it's best to go for these. The squad wipe potential of the Thompsons is just so strong. Even if they're not as effective in most engagements. You can just wipe squads so easily with them. With the tactical advance. Grenade goes over the hedge. Doesn't actually do that much damage to the machine gun squad side. So with the tank decrewed. Oh yeah, Jesulin's got a pretty even amount of supply here. His army. Jove hasn't gone for a Puma, also hasn't gone for tech yet, leaving his options open. His fuel control does seem to be stabilizing though. His pack positioning's been quite strong so far, keeping the Stuart away, allowing it to do too much damage. He does go for the Puma now. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, and his pack connects. Oh, but the Puma misses the first hit. He's going in for it. And he gets the kill. Has to retreat through the 50 cal's arc. But Jesulin didn't activate the armor-piercing rounds until too late. So Stuart goes down thanks to that Puma. That is the risky run. Going for the Stuart. It's quite a struggle against the Pumas, both OKW and Ossia. Used to be a lot more even when the shell shock would stun, but now that are only blinds. It's really a troublesome matchup for the Stuart.
forces are now down to 200 points.
Well, that's one thing going in Jesulin's favor. The VP score. He's had tremendous VP control so far. It's like Jesulin trying to squeeze around the side of this machine gun. Squads are somewhat spread out, and the gunner goes down for the machine gun. That is a huge force. Almost wipes the MG there. Just so much firepower. Pack nearly V1. To have major for Jesulin. Got quite a lot of fuel as well.
A capture point is under attack.
By going for those paratroopers, has denied him the chance to get that early Sherman. Doesn't have the manpower spare. Now that all these Grenadiers have got the LMG upgrades, Jesulin having trouble in these engagements, these long-range engagements. If he's going to use the suppressing fire ability. Paratroopers are V2 now though, so they're going to be slicing and dicing. Bazookas come through, missed the attack round. Through the smoke, unfortunate. Oh, this could be nasty. Look at all these squads in the retreat path of this Grenadier. And no AT grenade here from Jesulin, that's very surprising. Here they come. The mad dash through all these squads. Oh, they just get away. That is bad luck for Jesulin. He was a bit late turning this last squad here around to shoot at them, but extremely close call. And here comes the P4 command tank. This is why this commander is so aggravating. Despite that large lead Jesulin has had to this point, Jove hasn't had to tick up. And so that huge fuel lead really doesn't matter at this point. So in comes the P4 command tank. Very strong anti-infantry firepower on this. Similar to the Flak Panzer, really. Also has the bonus of the aura, buffing all these units. Looks like this squad's only got one bazooka, so they can't really fight it that effectively. And Jesulin's in deep trouble all of a sudden. The arrival of this call-in tank didn't manage to squeeze out a tank of his own. As I was saying, he was bleeding quite a lot. Forced to go for some bazookas here to try and repel the command tank. Did move his ambulance away to safety, so good micro in that respect. Didn't lose the ambulance, keeping it safe. Machine gun now camped on the cutoff. No indirect fire for Jesulin, so he's just having to brute force his way in here. Looks like the 50 cal suppression comes out on tops though.
P-47 air support now available. A capture point is
Like, you know, I can understand the Puma not being tight to tech, even though that's very aggravating. But this really should have been tied to tier 3. Sure, the Puma's a bit of a get out of jail free card, but as I said, this command tank has meant that Jesulin's fuel lead just hasn't even mattered at this point. Orlan's bailing out Jove massively despite Jesulin's extremely strong early game. Now Jesulin's kind of just throwing units and trying to get damage in, but he's bleeding a tremendous amount of manpower in the process.
We're losing a capture point.
Just can't quite afford to build a unit, and it looks like he's actually not going to go for a tank. I thought he would try get the Jackson there. But he's actually going to go for an AT gun. He pretty much had the resources for a Jackson. So it looks like he's going for an all-infantry strategy. Very risky. With the amount of bleed he's suffering currently. And now Jove turning the tables, got the triple cap running. Jesulin's VP's draining out quickly in response now. Some Shreks as well for Jove on the P-Grens. So how effective they were for Von Ivan against Dev M. But they are going to make him quite useless against Jesulin's strategy, who's not going for any tanks. He just, you know, he could have gone for the Jackson there, but he's gone for an AT gun instead. So this investment into the Shreks is probably not going to pay dividends. Jesulin continues on this path. T-gun opens up, misses its first shot. Second shot connects. Repelled it. Only got one squad of pioneers as Jove, so repairs on all these vehicles going to be quite slow. Could buy Jesulin a bit of breathing room here. The 3 Grenadiers charging on top of the M1, trying to force it away. Just get a bit of damage onto it.
A capture point is under attack.
Now that Jove has bought some breathing room with the call-ins, can afford to start ticking up now.
A capture point is being overrun.
Oh. Could be a wipe. Attack round. Ooh. Close call on the command tank. Very risky bringing it in there. Machine gun getting chipped away. Can't close in thanks to the S-mine field. Command tank aura is buffing this up as well. Got a rifle squad coming down the side though. Does finally force it away. Machine gun in this building, shutting down this harassment on the flank. Jesulin. Oof. Runs over some of those S-mines and it has to retreat through them. Ooh. Oh man, that was a close call. Has he got 2 bazookas on the squad yet? He still doesn't, right? It's just 1 bazooka on that re-echelon squad. If you're going to be charging it at vehicles, you really want 2 bazookas on it. Otherwise, you're really just throwing your manpower away. Paratroopers Vet 3 making mincemeat out of those Grenadiers. Okay, this squad's got 2 bazookas though, and they're charging forwards. Get a volley on. He's keeping these vehicles at bay with his bazookas, and with the securing this, we'll get the drain back on Jove, who is low on VPs, 150 remaining. He was actually building a Jackson there briefly, cancelled it, going for the Scott now. Jove's also thinking indirect fire against these team weapons. Going for a mortar. Maybe some smoke as well should help him contest that central VP. Before command tank runs straight into the M1. Misses its first shot. Second shot connects and it's going to get another one in here. But he packs it up to pull it back. Slight mistake, I think. Whoops. Oh, but he connects again there.
Supply line just got cut off. 75mm gun carrier ready. Taking land over here.
Jesulin has managed to squeeze his way down this flank. 222 wants to come in Force away the 50 cal over there, and looks like it's going to be successful, but here comes the Scot. I don't see that too often. I know that Hans has been playing USF, making an early Scot. Scot is quite powerful. We've seen them a lot in 2v2s, but often quite hard to squeeze into the build in 1v1s. Do have a decent squad wipe potential. Just to retreat that squad. Too much firepower there. Puma coming after the Scot. It's coming around for it. Jesulin very late to move his Scot. Not Vet 1, so doesn't have access to the smoke. He's duking around behind the building quite effectively, repositioning his AT gun as well to cover. And Puma gets forced away, takes 2 AT gun hits. Ooh, Jesulin, your rifleman. Oh no! Late retreats. Loses that squad. Oh, that's costly. Looks like Jesulin's slowly losing his grasp on this game. But for a second squad of pioneers now, good idea from Jove. I don't think. Oh, he has completed his first stage of tech. Hasn't got the structure down yet though. But that P4 command tank timing is just so costly. Really hurt Jesulin so badly. He had no anti-tank at the time, which didn't really matter when facing against the Puma, but command tanks just got so much anti-infantry firepower. Shrek's now putting pressure on the Scot, forcing it away. Scott's getting some good hits in on the way though. Lost this M1, losing the veterancy on that. Ooh! Oh man, another narrow escape there for Jove. Jesulin's had a couple too though. Scott's coming back out. 6 kills on that already. He's been doing pretty well. Jesulin's got a tremendous amount of fuel. Is he going to go for the Jackson next? Seems like, you know, he can get these vehicles low but can't quite get the killing hits. Maybe with the extra bit of anti-tank firepower from a Jackson, be able to chase in and get that killing blow. Looks like the Scots going after this machine gun in the building. Jesulin wants to open up this flank. The 222's sitting out here with a damaged engine though, so this rifle squad with only 3 men closing the distance here, probably going to lose that engagement before he gets the AT grenade off. What's the mortar doing? 0 kills, but nearly Vet 1 already. Must have been inflicting a bit of health damage. P4 command tank's got Vet 2's got the skirts. Which is going to make these bazookas a lot less effective. Also going to require a bit more sabot round action. The AT gun, thanks to the extra armor. Machine gun, I don't think he's been, I mean his mortar team rather, I don't think he's been using it for smoke so far. Just mainly been using it to try and barrage these team weapons. Peagrin's coming in from the side. We're going to have... Oh, they're going to get cut to pieces by these paratroopers. So, oh, that's a huge grenade. I think he's going to survive, but maybe not. These paratroopers doing some heavy damage here. It looks like he's going to lose his Shreks, and they drop a Shrek at that. So that push down the side doesn't amount to too much. Oh, that bazooka missed. Well, so did the AT gun shot for the killing. Could have been a killing blow on that Puma there, which is still climbing up the veterancy. Remember at Vet 3, it's the bonus damage. Makes it a lot more lethal. Scott being micro well here, keeping it in relevant range, doing some good damage. Squad did come down the side patch hoping to get some killing blows with his bazookas, but unsuccessful. And there is the Jackson. That's what he's been waiting for. It looks like the Puma going forward doesn't know about the Jackson. Coming around the side. Puma does have better line of sight though. And Jackson misses the return shot. Puma does have more line of sight than the Jackson now, especially since the sight nerfs. The last patch. Oh, machine gun narrowly escapes. Jesulin just not quite getting there with all these killing blows. I feel like he's getting a little bit unlucky. I mean, sure, that would have just resulted in the decrew of the machine gun. So weapon health is still about halfway there, but sure, he would have been happy with it not being Vet 3. Jesulin trying to keep the pressure on. He's got access to the P-47 rocket strafe here. Perhaps that's going to be his way in. Ooh! Doesn't quite get the kill. This building is extremely low. Oh, one more shot and that's going to be flattened inside. He's jumping out now. Oh man, that's a close call again for Jove. My word, he's had a lot of those. Nice attack round through the hedge by Jesulin with the Jackson. There's a P4 for Jove. Thought he might have gone straight for tier 4. We did see that from Jesulin.
Crew ready. Enemy forces have 100 points remaining.
Double flamethrowers for Jove. Not worried about the mines. Only would have to worry about, you know, the light AT mines from the rear echelon. Which I don't think we've seen Jesulin plant a single one of yet. The T-gun lining up. Oh my god, that's... Oh my god, that 222 is so lucky to escape. A T-gun trying to open up on the Scott, and he does get a hit in there. Tank doing some good damage to these bazooka squads. In comes the P-47s. Trying to get the killing blow on this Panzer IV. Ooh, so close to death. 222's going to have decent anti-air capabilities. Going to try to shoot down those planes. Jove leaving his tank in the line of fire here. If Jackson connects one more shot, this could be a dead command tank, and there it goes. Very sloppy there, leaving his vehicles in the danger zone. Command tank down. Could have easily been both his tanks. Nice use of the P-47s. Remember, this did get nerfed. There's about 30% less damage than did last patch. Something like that. Oh, and the Puma coming forwards. Oh my god, Puma's so close to death.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Must have taken a bazooka around or something to be at that low health. Oh, LMGs melt the M1 crew.
Just got cut off.
Another lucky escape from one of Joe's infantry squads. Ooh, the incendiary rounds doing some big damage here. Jesulin doesn't have access to his indirect fire, but the 50 cal coming in clutch, getting the suppression in there and knocking out the gunner. And looks like they've both lost sight of each other. Nope, now this one's got sight. Thanks to the scout car. MG42 is usually quite bad in those machine gun versus machine gun wars and equal cover settings. Fresh P4 for Jove. Didn't rebuild the command tank. I think the command tank would be pretty much as good in this situation. Uh-oh. Jackson coming down the side. Gets a good shot in. Packer's there. Pulls the Jackson back at a good timing. Machine gun gets knocked out and left it sitting there too long. Perhaps microing his vehicles over here. at the time that Jesulin was making that push. And Jesulin putting pressure on the VP. 66 remaining for Jove. Man, imagine if he didn't lose that P4 command tank. Jove might be able to make like some big heroic push with all his vehicles against Jesulin, who's got a decent amount of anti-tank with all those bazookas, but certainly could be overwhelmed if the engagement is correct. Jove using his vehicles on very low health. I mean, if that Jackson shot connected, that would have been a dead P4 there. Very, very risky play from him. Extremely risky. Jackson must be close to get 2 now. No, still not. Interesting. "23 kills for that 222. And it is providing nice line of sight now. Oh, what's he doing? This is so risky. Almost runs into that squad too. If they got an AT grenade off here, he's going to lose that P4. He's calling in the P47s. Oh, that's almost certainly dead. There it goes. Jove just playing so risky, running his tanks around on low health. And trying to use his, oh, he loses his flamethrower squad. That's got to be it. Yeah, he throws in the towel with that one. Oh, so Jesulin showing some strength with his US forces play. Jove almost turned that around with the arrival of the command tank, but Jesulin just, I think he's playing a little bit more crisply than Jove, I have to say. And Jove's early capping order seems to be a little bit weak. His early game start. His squad positioning just wasn't as strong as Jesulin's. Just the engagements he was taking were always less optimal. So yeah, Jesulin looking strong and Jove maybe a little bit rusty. Also Jove running around with these vehicles on low health. I mean, easily could have lost a lot more of them than he did. If a few more shots had connected there. Very risky stuff from him. Anyway, that was a nice game, and apologize if we're seeing a bit too much of these like 1v1 games, but I mean, it's pretty GCS time. It's pretty hype. Want to see where everyone lies. Probably once the GCS tournament is running, I'll be casting a few more team games. You know, I'll be casting the GCS games, but the non-GCS games will be team games. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you off the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.